keep with that conversation. Let's move over to James Smart, who's standing by with KNUT Secretary General Mudzo Nzili. Smart, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Betty. In studio with me here at the summit is the man who can call off the strike. It is the Acting Secretary General of the Kenya National Union of Teachers, Mr. Mudzo Nzili.
Yes.
Before we just get too wordy with this, Mr. The President has spoken.
Yeah.
Are teachers going to go to work tomorrow?
The President has spoken, and when we were on a strike, presidents used it to talk. And the strikes of teachers are never called off by presidents. They are called off by the instructions from the Kenya National Union of Teachers National Executive Council, who are the owners of the strike, and by extension, the teachers who are the members. That is the general.
So right now where we are, the President and the government says we are ready and willing to negotiate, drop the strike, come to the negotiating table. What's difficult with that?
We appreciate that they are willing to negotiate. But we indicated demonstrated our willingness yesterday when we went there, and we expected to be given something on the table to say, hey man, this is what we are bringing to you. After 2-3 hours of engagements between us and the government, they sought for a break to go and consult, and we were left there in a very celebrate mood, thinking that we were going to, in fact, we had even started calling our office to prepare to invite the National Executive Council in anticipation that we were going to get a deal that we could present to the National Executive Council and seek for authority for us to call off the strike. But we were surprised when they came back after a break of about 3 to 4 hours, when they returned from where they had gone to consult at around, say, 4:20 there. We were told, hey man, you know, we have a good deal, we have a good news. And then we started joining hands in celebrating the good news. After we had left, we were told, yes, gentlemen, we want you, as a matter of urgency, to call off the strike now, so that we can discuss. Then we were surprised. Is that the good news? Why do you want us to call off the strike now? Because you must comply with a court order.
Let's speak about that court order.
Yes.
Because that was given early this week.
Yes.
And the courts said, number one, call off the strike.
Yes.
Negotiate, get back to the courts on the 15th of this month.
Yes.
And report back to the courts.
Yes.
What's the difficulty in that? Because that is what the country is not understanding now. What's the difficulty in that?
Very good. How I wish we had been served with that court order.
So you have not been served with a court order?
Until today, as I am here, and God is my witness, we have never been served with that court order.
What is this court order that the President then is talking about?
I don't know what it contains. And tomorrow, we intend to go to Oraro, to our advocates, to try to find out if they can ask for us a copy of that court order, so that we can also acquaint ourselves with the contents. So, actually, the court order to us, and we want to make it very clear, as teachers who understand the rule of law and who love the legal system in Kenya and who respect the judiciary, we would not have failed to respond or to comply with the court order if it was served on us.
Are you just not being difficult, Mr. Mudzo Nzili? It's not just not becoming difficult and giving the government a hard time.
No. This is a government that we participated in putting it in place. And so we would have a lot of prayers for it to succeed. So I cannot be party of a system that is creating difficulties for the same government love and respect.
I must ask you this though.
Yes.
The government, and initially in this conversation it has been paralleled between the laptop projects and the money for teachers. And the comparison is that there's 54 billion for the laptop for kids, and there's nothing that has been in the budget for teachers. Where do you draw comparisons in this, in terms of looking at these strikes?
Actually, when we are talking about what we want, and I want to make it very clear, legal notice number 534 started way back in 1997. There was no laptop money. The only remaining issues that must be implemented have to be implemented. If the government, because of its development plans include other things like laptop, we are not at war. The government can go ahead, even if it proposes buying an aeroplane for every child in Kenya. We are not at war. But what we want is what is rightfully ours. Let them buy anything, aeroplanes, marine apparatus, anything. Because they have enough money. With 1.6 trillion, they can buy anything. But what we want is just what belongs to us. And we are doing this because in compliance with the Sarah Serem Commission, which advised employers to complete payment of concluded CBAs or undertakings by 30th June. And so we had to be out to request that they also comply with a circular, which is a government circular. So in any case, we are helping the government to remind them that there are a few things that you have not done. Can you please do this so that we come to fresh negotiations?
About this court order still,
yes.
If tomorrow and if by some reason, this court order, you finally see it,
yes,
you intend to comply with it, because that court order expressly talks about you calling off the strike. Will you comply with that?
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
We've been told. We hear.
No. Let us be specific. Have you seen it?
But we were in the courts, and the magistrate herself read those.
Okay.
And you also watched
today or tomorrow, if the court order comes, we, the leadership of the Kenya National Union of Teachers, shall evoke our structures. One, we shall consult our lawyers to interpret to us the contents. Two, we shall invite the advice of the National Executive Council. We come and tell them this is what has come out of our struggle. Men, what is the way forward? Three, we shall let the teachers know what actually it contains and then seek direction. In that way, when we are advised the way we shall be advised, we shall comply.
But it's a very simple directive, Mr. Mudzo Nzili. If we are talking about the same thing,
yes.
Let's assume for a moment to talk about the very same thing. That the court is saying, for the interest of everyone, the parties, the children and the parents and the whole country, call off the strike, meet another court directive, discuss, and then report back to the court.
I want to explain in a very, very elaborate manner how a strike is called and how it is called off. One, the steering committee or the National Executive Council owns only a strike notice. That is, when we issue a strike notice for 7 days and the employer or any other person within that intervening period comes up with something that can restrain us or can restrain the strike activities from taking off, we, the leadership, have the ability to withdraw that notice or suspend. But the moment it goes out and the strike commences, it now becomes the property of the National Executive Council and the general membership. For us to call it off, we must call the National Executive Council, give them what we have, and inform the members that we are going to, this is the way we are going to go. But as an individual or as a members of the steering committee, both the chairman and I and the other 8, we do not have express legal mandate or constitutional mandate from our constitution to be able to summarily call off a strike.
Finally for me, 30 seconds very quickly.
Yeah.
Are teachers still on strike?
Yeah, teachers are on strike and we are urging them to remain on strike because that is the only way. We were advised by the National Executive Council until such a time that the National Executive Council takes a decision. And tomorrow, if we come across, and we shall make sure we get the court order to be able to seek for its interpretation, the National Executive Council shall be called, and then a way forward will be.
Mudzo Nzili?
Yes.
Kenya National Union of Teachers, Acting Secretary General.
Thank you.
You've spoken for the teachers. Thank you very much.